Hello everybody, this is the second episode of To Return to the Now. I'm Scott.
I'm Nick.
And we're here to talk to you today about college basketball. So break it down for us, Nick.
It's college basketball, very exciting time of the year, Sweet 16 right now. We had a couple upsets today, or well, you guys will be seeing it as yesterday. Butler happened to beat Syracuse. Xavier almost pulled an upset. They fell a little bit short to Kansas State. And West Virginia beat Washington, as everybody kind of expected.
That last game, Xavier nailed a three-pointer, like, what was it, 35-footer. Crawford nailed a three-pointer at the end of the first overtime?
End of the first overtime.
To go to second overtime. They ended up losing, but it was, it was amazing.
It was, I'd say, definitely the best game of the tournament. At least the best one I've seen. I know the little underdogs first couple rounds, but this was an exciting last couple overtimes. It was great.
So you may ask yourself, what does a trip to the Sweet 16 earn you? Well, Ben Jacobson, coach of the
Northern Iowa Panthers.
Yeah, okay. Northern Iowa Panthers, he gets a 10-year contract extension. All right, let's move on to the NBA. Very exciting time of the year. The playoffs are just ahead of us. Too bad for the Nuggets, though. Head coach George Karl will likely miss the rest of the season. He hopefully will be back for the postseason. He's battling throat cancer, and recently he's battling blood clots.
Adrian Dantley's been filling in for him while he's been out. He's been doing a pretty good job. He's usually like the player's assistant. He's the guy that the players talk to when they're having a problem with the coaches. He's kind of like the main assistant coach. And right now he's having to fill in for George while he's absent.
All right, the standings right now for the Western Conference would be LA, Dallas, Denver, Utah, and then Phoenix. All separated by 6 games?
Yeah, it's very, very
tight,
especially
games.
the couple in the middle.
Now the East is the top 4 teams are the best teams, and the rest just really
kind of just drops off.
Just drops off. But best top 4 or 5 teams is Cleveland, Orlando, Boston, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. Now Milwaukee has gone 15-2.
Milwaukee's the team to talk about right now in basketball. As crazy as that sounds.
Ever since the All-Star break, they've gone 15-2 as they've acquired John Salmons. And John Salmons was formerly with the Chicago Bulls, and he was playing just mediocre with them. He wasn't doing bad, he wasn't doing really stellar or anything like that, but ever since he's gone to the Milwaukee Bucks, he's got them running and gunning. Brandon Jennings is doing incredible down there as a rookie point guard, and Andrew Bogut is turning into a very good center now. Looking to make the All-Star game next year, I bet you.
Alright, now we're going to move on to the NHL. Just like basketball, the NHL season's about to be wrapping up. Most teams have around 10 games remaining. The Avs have 9. They are right now sitting in the 6th spot in the West. They are trying to catch up to Vancouver, and they're 5 points behind them. For those who don't really know the point thing system in NHL, 2 points is a win, a loss is no points, and an overtime loss is worth 1 point. So they're basically 2 wins and an overtime loss behind Vancouver with 10 games remaining.
Big note in the NHL is now that they are outlawing blows to the head. And it's just recently news. It just came out today, I think.
Yep.
All right, why don't you explain that a little bit?
Basically, the last couple months, or actually weeks or so, there's been a few players that have been hit in the head. A blind shot to Mark Savard was the most recent one. He was taken off on a stretcher. It was pretty nasty. Even though the hit itself didn't look too bad, is that it was a blind blow to the head. The guy didn't even see it coming. So that's the main thing. They want to try to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen. This kind of injury can be prevented.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Recently, the Broncos acquired quarterback Brady Quinn from the Cleveland Browns. Now, as a Bronco fan, this promotes some, pretty good upside and some joy for.
Essentially, we really got him for not really any risk at all. We gave up Peyton Hillis, who was a very good running back for us when he played. So he was not getting any playing time this last year, so he was definitely expendable. And we traded away 2 lower round draft picks, I think, in next year's draft. So it's really a low risk, it's hopefully a high reward kind of a trade for the Broncos.
Now, Josh McDaniels has stated that Kyle Orton will be the starting quarterback going into the mini camps and OTAs. Who knows if Brady Quinn can beat him out for the start of the season. I don't think he will. I think Kyle Orton will be the guy, and McDaniels will just tutor Brady Quinn underneath him for
as long as there's some competition, so that'll help things out.
Yeah, good portion of the season. Yeah, so it should be interesting to watch this year. Much more excitement going into this season than it was last season. Looking to go into the NFL draft coming up.
Yeah, the draft is 22nd of April, so we got just a little under a month until then. Lots of teams are looking at what they need to assess: offense, defense. Do we need a quarterback? Do we need a wide receiver? All right, for more information on the NFL draft and some controversial issues with Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, we're going to send it over to DILL Billingsworth. DILL?
Hey Hey guys, this is Dale Billingsworth here in downtown Pittsburgh. The scene where we were trying to get a hold of Ben Roethlisberger for comment about his recent scandal. Apparently he does not want to talk to me. I don't know why. Now I'm at Heinz Field. Dale Billingsworth here. And we were trying to get head coach Mike Tomlin in for a comment. Let's see if we can catch up to him. Mike Tomlin, come here. Hey! He's fast. Oh shit. He went into his office. I couldn't catch up to him. Well, since we can't get a hold of them or anyone else to comment about the Ben Roethlisberger scandal, we'll talk to you a little bit about the draft. Rams have the top pick. I think that Ndamukong Suh, Joe McCoy, or Sam Bradford are going to be picked number one. The Rams have many needs. They have quarterback needs, but Suh has been the most dominant defensive lineman in all of football for years to come. So we'll have to wait and see, but it's going to get interesting. Alright guys, out of those three choices, Ndamukong Suh, Sam Bradford, and Joe McCoy, my pick is the Cornhusker. Rams, better pick him. Shh. This is Dale Billingsworth here. We're in the bathroom at the Pittsburgh Steelers facility trying to see if we can get Tomlin to get a comment. But, he's got some bodyguards apparently around. They saw me coming. So we're going to try if we can sneak in here and see if we can make any sense of this. Thank you, Dale. Alright, we're going to move on to Major League Soccer. Today is the opening day for the Colorado Rapids, right, Nick?
Yep, Colorado Rapids are starting their season out today. They're supposed to be one of the sleeper teams. They went 10-10-10 last year. Won 10 games, lost 10 games, tied 10 games.
Interesting news is that Donovan, the player for the captain for the LA Galaxy, is looking to be moved, isn't he?
Yeah, he was on a loan. He was playing over in Europe, and he's on a loan, which means that he gets rented out to a team to play for. But now there's been more talks that he might just get sold to that team.
As you can see, I'm wearing my motocross hat. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I get to go with my dad to hopefully the Supercross down in the Denver Coliseum on Sunday. I'm a big fan of motocross. I've ridden motorcycles ever since I was 4 years old, and I'm really excited. Big news, or if you follow motocross, is the TV show Bubba's World, which is James Stewart. He is also known as Bubba Stewart. He rides for Yamaha. He's been the biggest name probably in motocross over the last couple of years, ever since Ricky Carmichael retired. James Stewart started to come on towards the end of the final season of Ricky Carmichael's career, pretty much forcing Ricky Carmichael to retire so he could retire on top. Other news with James Stewart, he has had season-ending injuries, and this year he's been out all year, and I think also Chad Reed has been out all year, which leaves the room open for young guys to step up and make a name for themselves. But hopefully Bubba Stewart comes back, he can be better than ever, and he can catch up to Ricky Carmichael's status, and be mentioned with the greats with Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael, and get those win totals. All right, so let's move on to college hockey, right?
Let's do it. Alright, college hockey. The tournament starts today. The Denver Pioneers are in the tournament. They are one of the top seeds. They're playing RIT. It's a round of 32. Don't really know much about college hockey, except for I do know that having a local team does make it a little more interesting, a little bit more exciting.
Speaking of local teams, here at CSU we have a club team. Not Division I or anything, it's Division II club team, whatever. But recent news, I read in the paper the other day that their captain, at the end of the game, he got thrown out of the game for he apparently charged the referee, and they said he bumped into him or whatever. But then the captain went on later to say that he approached the referee after the game and barely touched him.
Yeah, he said the bump was a light bump on the shoulder when they were passing.
And the coach actually defends his star player. And the coach mentions that the referee was way in over his head, and he could not referee that type of caliber game.
Alright guys, we're going to finish up this segment with college baseball. College baseball is about 15 to 20 games or so into the season. Right now the standings are Virginia's first, Arizona State is second, followed by Florida State, Florida, and Georgia Tech. The College World Series is awesome to watch. Just hearing the ping of those aluminum bats is very exciting.
Later on in the season, it'll get a lot more publicized, especially with big stars starting to make a name for themselves and get out there looking to be drafted by major league teams. And you'll definitely see some college baseball in the next couple weeks or so. So just tune in and support your team, whoever they are.
Yep. What do we want to finish?